Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clark on YouTube. Oh no! You know, one of the things that I think really defines us in life is music. The type of music we listen to determines what kind of a personality that we have in its entirety. And I think that Miley Cyrus definitely was a true illustration and exemplification of just how a personality can really shine through the creation of music. When she had the opportunity to be Hannah Montana in 2006, she took the opportunity by storm and she performed that character in a way that I don't think anyone could have ever been able to do it. And I remember being so blown away by her performances, how she could come out on stage and tell a story and make it so interesting for so many people. Kind of like how I can create these videos for you and make them so interesting and so fun for your whole family. And I appreciate each and every one of you for clicking on my thumbnail, hitting the like and subscribe buttons, and enjoying these videos as a family. I've had so much fun creating all of these videos for you. So today, this day in Disney history, we are celebrating the premiere of the pilot episode of Hannah Montana, which premiered in 2006. And it ultimately became the highest rated Disney Channel show of all time. Not only that, but it also became the most successful Disney Channel show of all time. And it's been argued, the point has been made, that if not for the success of Hannah Montana, every other Disney Channel show and project in the way of Disney Channel TV shows or movies would have faded off into obscurity. And I really believe that. I stand to that. I'm a firm believer in that. Because that was a time when Disney Channel was really at the heights of its popularity. If not for characters such as Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers, Selena Gomez, of course Alex Russo on Wizards of Waverly Place. They just rebooted that series and turned it into Wizards Beyond Waverly Place. Really appreciative of that. I was kind of hoping by now we would have seen a reboot of the Hannah Montana series, even if they would have brought Emily Osment back into the mix, but unfortunately we haven't seen that yet. But that does not mean that we won't see it. But for me as a fan of Miley Cyrus and her family, I think it goes all the way back to 1992, the same year that Batman the Animated Series was the top animated TV series of all time. In July of that year, July 31st, 1992, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie starring Kristen Sutherland premiered, and it was one of the highest rated movies from 20th Century Fox. In 1992, we saw a lot of great video games like the Aladdin and Lion King video game on the Super NES and Sega Genesis video game consoles. So many unbelievable things happened in 1992, but the one thing that jumps out at me from the success of 1992's calendar year was how Billy Ray Cyrus's line dance song, Achy Breaky Heart, spent 5 weeks at the top of the Billboard charts for country music. It lasted from May 30th of 1992 up until Independence Day weekend, July 4th of 1992, and became one of the most popular country music songs of all time. I know this, and I say this because I remember going on camping expeditions with my family, specifically my dad, and we would go 45 minutes away from all civilization in the truck. We would have the cassette tape of Billy Ray Cyrus's Achy Breaky Heart playing in the background. And I remember driving 45 minutes away from civilization saying to Dad, "Play that song again." And I would keep saying it until he would. "Play that song again. Play that song again." And he would say, "I'm driving. I'm driving." And I would say, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" In between the times that the cassette tape would have to rewind and you would have to push down on that button. I was really excited to be a part of a whole lot of things, but I remember the camping expeditions and being introduced to Billy Ray Cyrus for the first time, and ultimately he became probably my favorite country artist of all time. And just to let you guys in a little secret, somewhere in this house I still have the original cassette tape with Achy Breaky Heart on it. When I moved in here, I brought a lot of my collectibles and my memorabilia with me, and I still haven't got it all unpacked, but I've got everything here, I think, from my memories of being a fan of Miley Cyrus and Billy Ray Cyrus. And coming up in this video, we will take a look at one of Miley Cyrus's first interviews. I believe it actually was the first interview after she was cast in the lead role of Hannah Montana, after she had originally auditioned for the role of Lily Truscott, who originally was supposed to have been the best friend of Hannah Montana. But I remember the chemistry, despite how they didn't get along, Miley and Emily didn't get along originally when they were casted. I really appreciated the chemistry of these two, and because I appreciated the chemistry of these two so much, I remember going out buying Miley Cyrus's autobiography called Miles to Go. It was co-written by Disney Press and Hilary Lifton, and it was a 252-page book documentary on Miley's life. And I remember reading the biography, and it was just so amazing, all the secrets that were put into the book. And there were secrets put into the book about the production of the TV series in Miley's life that you wouldn't expect to be in the book, that was specifically written for children, like how Miley was bullied in high school, how there was a lot of pressure with the Hannah Montana character, how she wanted to quit a couple of times, but she showed tremendous perseverance and pulled through. And I just had so much respect for this TV series. If there were 100 episodes of this one produced, I remember watching at least 99 of them. The only episode of Hannah Montana that I don't have, actually, is the original Christmas episode that was produced for the first season of Hannah Montana, either the first or second season of Hannah Montana. And I remember seeing some of these interviews. One of them I'm going to play for you in a few minutes, where Miley was so appreciative of having the opportunity to play the character of Hannah Montana. I mean, who wouldn't have wanted to love to have been Hannah Montana, living the double life? Of course, behind the scenes, she's Hannah Montana. In real life, she's Miley Cyrus. And we've seen so many attempts of Disney to try to create something similar to this, but they could never pull it off, which is why arguably Hannah Montana will go down in history as one of the greatest TV shows that Disney Channel ever produced, if not the number one. Yeah, I love the Hannah Montana soundtracks. I loved how she got such a huge response from everybody, both for the live tours. She would get on the bus at 7 p.m. The concerts would finish between 10:30 and 11 Eastern Time. But before that, of course, there were so many setups and so many auditions and rehearsals she would have to attend, not to mention the makeup process and everything. There was a lot that went behind these live action productions, which is why I'm really excited for fans of the newer generation of Disney to see this firsthand when we see the Descendants Zombies World Tour beginning in July of 2025, which I'm going to try to cover for you on this YouTube channel. I know they're starting it off in San Diego, and they tour all over the United States. I would like to see more dates added into this. But obviously the tours have been significantly updated from what they used to do with Hannah Montana and the Jonas Brothers before they eventually brought them together. But I really do like how Disney has always had seen this opportunity to create. Yeah, sure, people will say it's about the money and stuff, and obviously it is for Disney to a certain extent, but I really love how Disney seizes the opportunities to create, and that's definitely what they did with Hannah Montana. And then came the video games on the PlayStation 3s and the Xbox 360s. I have pretty much every Hannah Montana video game there is, but talking about the first season of Hannah Montana, there it is right there. That is the original first season of Hannah Montana, which was released on DVD for the first time in Christmas of 2009. Holiday 2009, this was released, and I really appreciate how this popped up on the Disney calendar because I've got so much Hannah Montana stuff. I've even got the first season of Doc, which is Billy Ray Cyrus's, her dad's first TV show, which was really a #1 hit. I don't even know where I found this, but this is a classic. If anything, look at how shiny this thing is. Let me put it in front of the camera. Look how shiny the discs are. This is a collector's item if there's anything out there. And you guys are saying, man, we got to subscribe to this channel. This guy has everything. And indeed I do. I've got, look, even the High School Musical 2 DVD, which was released years ago as well. That was released around the same time that Hannah Montana was at the heights of its popularity. But yeah, I remember this TV series being so fun to watch. And I remember specifically when they produced the movie in Tennessee. Miley was born in Franklin, Tennessee, and they brought her home for the movie. And it was a tremendous opportunity for her, but ultimately as a fan of this, it was a tremendous opportunity for me getting the opportunity to see the movie and having so much fun doing it. Funny story, I remember how Hannah Montana had been released at a local theater where I used to live, and it was literally like 5-10 minutes away from where I used to live, so I used to be able to pretty much walk to the movie theater. So one night I go to walk to the movie theater. 2 weeks before Hannah Montana comes in, I originally think it's Hannah Montana. I end up at a rock movie. I think it was Race to Witch Mountain. I watch Race to Witch Mountain. I go back home, and then 2 weeks later, I go back to the movie theater again to watch the Hannah Montana movie. And I'm the only guy at the movie theater. The movie theater is packed. If the movie theater could seat 150 people, everybody at the movie theater was a girl. And I remember the guy working there that night. He said to me, "Man, Jonathan, you're the only guy here." And I'm thinking to myself, That is awesome. And I had no complaints about that because I could say that I was the only guy that was at the movie theater that supported Hannah Montana enough to go out and watch it. So I remember going in and watching it and having so much fun. I was so excited. The same thing with High School Musical. And yeah, I probably am considered a loser by a lot of my guy friends, but man, everything I think that Hannah Montana ever put out, I was there for. And I was so supportive of. And I still am very supportive of everything that she did. And in all honesty, 15, 20 years after the series finale, which happened in January of 2010, after being the highest rated Disney Channel series of all time, I miss it. If there's one TV series I would love to see a reboot of, it would be Hannah Montana. And if there's one TV series that I miss, it's definitely Hannah Montana. And the work ethic that she exemplified was absolutely incredible. It was unlike anything else I think I've ever seen in my life. And I will never forget it. I remember all the interviews she used to do. I remember how they used to get the Disney stars up between 4:30 and 5 a.m. every morning, and they would give them breakfast, and then they would do publicity before they had to film a TV series and stuff, and Miley was always there to do it. And I remember how years ago, I don't know where I was, but I remember hearing an interview with her on the radio. I was driving home from somewhere, and I remember how she made the decision that she was going to focus primarily on her music. And that's really when she catapulted into superstardom. She had that song Flowers years later, which became the number one song in the history of the Billboard chart because of, I guess, just how catchy it is. Because, of course, when you write a song, there's this thing about writing a song, and I know this from doing DJ work a number of years ago, where there are three different chords and three different notes in a song, and if you hit those three notes right that are the focal point of the song is guaranteed to almost go to number one. That's a bit of a secret I can tell you guys. But there are three notes in a song that if you hit them correctly, and it's almost like people like Miley and Demi Lovato could do that in a way that could blow your mind every single time. Emily Osment was someone who never got enough credit too. She was a really talented actress who worked alongside Miley, but her ability to sing and be an actress too was just amazing. Then of course she had the other cast members like Jason Earles, who was her brother, who primarily the focus of was just to come in and do something stupid, blow something up and leave. Kind of like how I would want to be a character like that on Disney Channel. Either that or someone's sidekick in an animated movie like Frozen or something. I really appreciated the people that would come in and do something stupid and really just get your attention for a few minutes and and ultimately keep your attention on everything happening. Something else cool that I used to love doing too was on Saturdays when ABC had the rights to show different shows. They would show shows like Hannah Montana, Recess, and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody in an hour and a half block every Saturday on ABC before we had Disney Channel. And I remember Saturdays getting up every morning watching that with my favorite bowl of cereal, whether it be Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which ultimately is everybody's favorite for some reason. I remember watching that and loving Hannah Montana. I remember how when High School Musical 2 premiered a number of years ago, the Hannah Montana Jonas Brothers special was the highest rated episode of Hannah Montana and Jonas together in the history of Disney Channel, with over 7.2 million people tuning in. And then High School Musical went on to become the highest grossing Disney Channel movie of all time, specifically produced for Disney Channel. And that's why we eventually saw Hannah Montana and High School Musical reach the heights of unprecedentedness in the box office. And I remember watching High School Musical years ago really quickly. And it blew my mind. It literally blew my mind seeing these stars have the opportunity to finally make it to the big screen. And now look at where stars like Zac Efron and Miley Cyrus are. Childhood memories without a shadow of a doubt that I will never ever forget. And just how the fans felt so connected to Miley is something that I've had so much appreciation for forever. And I'm never going to let go of it. My memories of being a fan of Hannah Montana are tremendous, and I'm just never ever going to forget her. I remember playing her video games. I remember all the merchandise, the dolls that they had and stuff like that. Now, I wasn't to the extreme of going out and buying the dolls, but when it came to the video games and the DVD releases and the books, and it was unbelievable. I don't think they'll ever have another character or TV series that will come off as such a huge inspiration as what Hannah Montana was. I remember years ago Dad being really upset because I was such a huge fan of Disney and I was so focused on it. And I'll tell you a little story about that when we wrap this up. But I think Dad ultimately, gained a better appreciation for who I was. I remember times when I would watch movies like Cars, And of course, that was when Disney was really focusing on computer animation. So of course, when they would shoot the movie Cars, you would see the camera angles changing depending on how they were moving up the road. And I remember certain scenes in that movie really captivating me. And I remember saying, "Dad, come in the room and watch this with me." And he would come in and he would watch, like, say, Lightning McQueen going like 150 kilometers up the road. And he'd be like, after the scene, "You called me in the room to show me that?" And like he was just, like he couldn't believe that I was so enamored by Disney. And I was like, "Yeah, Disney is cool." And he would like hang his head in embarrassment and leave the room. But uh, Disney is something that I've always been a fan of. I really appreciate how my parents really supported me being such a huge fan of Disney and being so enthusiastic about it, because honestly, without people, supporting this channel like you guys and supporting my love and passion for Disney, I don't know where I'd be today. So, why don't we celebrate the inaugural episode of Hannah Montana, which premiered today in history on the Disney calendar. You can go to thisdayindisneyhistory.com and see it for yourself. It's up there. Why not celebrate the pilot episode of Hannah Montana by looking at Miley's first interview? Let's do this together. I think you're going to be having a walk down memory lane with me. This brought back so many fond memories. I think her dad is actually in this interview with her too. Let's take a look at this and see what we think. Guys, I want you to keep in mind this is the first interview that Miley Cyrus did when she became Hannah Montana alongside her father. I think she did a great job promoting Hannah Montana. The purpose of the interview was fulfilled. Miley's popularity skyrocketed, and I actually remember seeing this interview, and I remember being overcome with emotion because I was so attached to everything Disney. For some reason, ever since I knew what Disney was and could formulate sentences, I was always a big fan of this. And when I saw this interview for the first time ever, I was so appreciative of just how happy Miley was to be in the position she was. And of course, she's in the position that she's in because of all of you. Kind of like how this YouTube channel can get in the position that it should be in because of each and every one of you hitting the subscribe button. So if you could take a minute to hit the subscribe and the like buttons, I would really appreciate it. And to be honest with you guys, I'm really excited to watch this video because this is the first time I think in about a decade I've seen this interview. It took some time for me to find, but if I was going to show you any Miley Cyrus footage whatsoever, it was going to be this, hands down. So let's watch this together and let's have a whole lot of fun doing it. Give me a second to get this screen bigger here. And don't forget to give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Let's get to this.
Billy Ray's talents. We all know him from his smash hit Achy Breaky Heart. Miley and Billy Ray are joining us live here in New York City. It's so good to have you here. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
You seem very excited, Miley.
I am.
Hey, Jay, it's great to be with you.
Has she been buzzing all day?
She's been working her tail off. I mean, we've been in New York for 3 days now, and it's just been very exciting. This is her first trip to New York City. And,
it's your very first time here, and you've lived in Tennessee on a ranch. You've now moved to Los Angeles, but here you are in New York City. So what are your impressions of our fair town?
I like it. It's different. It's very different than Nashville, but so is LA, and I'm just keep going, but I love it.
What's the strangest thing you saw during your stay here in New York? There are some freaks here, you know.
Well, mostly just all the buildings. When I've seen them in movies, they look a lot smaller than they do in person.
Pretty big.
But, yeah, they're really big.
Well, we got you a little gift.
Well, thank you.
You can open up that and a little souvenir to take home from our town. This new show, Hannah Montana, and we'll talk as you're opening. Don't want to take away from gift opening. Show everybody what you do.
Man, I would love to build a time machine and go back to hearing people say, the new hit TV series, Hannah Montana. You know, I remember the promotions about how, you had to figure out who she was. Nobody knew who she was, and living the double life and how much of a challenge it was. Normal teenage girl by day, pop star by night. I remember it. Maybe I can do the announcement with the microphone. I don't know. But it was so much fun watching the original promos, and I only wish I could go back in time and experience it all over again, especially for the newer fans of Disney. Because experiencing Disney now is one thing, but experiencing it about a decade ago was just an incredible opportunity.
A little New York love.
Great.
Thank you.
Enjoy that very much. And in this new show, as I said, it's such a cool premise. You're playing a pop star But the only one who knows you are the pop star are your two friends, because you have certain costumes that allow you to go and be like one of the world's biggest pop stars, but then you are able to sort of keep your anonymity, and your best friends in school know. Billy Ray, wouldn't that be nice? Did you ever kind of wish, you've seen both sides of it, did you ever wish you could just walk up the stage and just go about your business and not be the star all the time?
I've just always loved making music, and getting a chance now to work with Miley and to be a part of the show, to be a part of the Disney family, I swear it's the most exciting event that's ever taken place in my career or my life. This is just incredible being a part of this thing. And as far as me having a disguise, I'm still hoping someday to be Johnny Damon.
Does anyone ever notice how Billy Ray Cyrus is always there to capitalize on opportunity? Every single time an acting opportunity would come up, he was always just there. So when they saw the chemistry between himself and his daughter offset, they were like, yeah, he's going to be the on-screen dad. He's a real-life dad in real life, so we're going to make him his on-screen dad. And every opportunity that he was presented with to be an actor, because he loved it so much, I think he took full advantage of it. And I just remember, I think I've seen every project since I've been alive of Billy Ray Cyrus, and I think this was one of the most amazing ones that he did, because there was a real appreciation for this TV series. He knew it was his daughter's first breakout role, and he wanted to make the most of it, and he certainly did.
Well, what do you think? You play this pop star, and of course, a lot of kids grow up hoping they can one day be a pop star. It's a very enviable position to be in. But you have a pop star dad, something a lot of kids probably wish they have, a big-time rock and roll country star. What's that been like? What's the best part of having Billy Ray Cyrus as dad?
It's been great. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him after growing up.
Well, I can assure you of that,
yeah,
actually.
seeing him on set and seeing him singing, and once I got on stage with him, and I just knew that's something I wanted to do. So I really enjoy it, especially getting to work with him.
Well, what's one of the perks, though, of having, a famous dad? What do you think? Are you walking... You walk down the street, well, you probably get a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, I do. I get to go I get to travel with him, so that's the funnest part.
Did you happen to know that your song, Achy Break Your Heart, was just on Dancing with the Stars? One of the biggest...
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't know that?
I didn't.
Are you learning this from me?
Well, I'm learning from you.
Maybe that means there's a check coming your way.
Well,
Are you guys fans of the reality TV?
I am. I am.
I'm guessing you watch American Idol.
I do. I've been very busy, and we tape at the same time, so my friends are taping it for me, TiVoing it.
Okay. Any favorite shows that you sit around with the whole family and...
I'm working all the time, and just always studying the scripts, and when I'm not on set with her, I'm out touring and making music, and I love being with the fans, and that's one of the things that's the funnest about this show is we tape in front of a live audience, and so it's the best of both worlds, getting to be with that audience and acting at the same time, and still getting to make some music. And I don't know if you've heard about her singing. She just signed a record deal with Hollywood Records.
Congratulations.
And,
That's not a bad deal.
She writes her own songs. She's the real deal. She's got some great music ahead of her, and again, it's just a lot of fun.
And as I said, this character you're playing, Hannah Montana, one of the world's biggest pop stars, is it somebody that you're emulating? Because the premise is, if Britney Spears were in high school but nobody knew it was Britney Spears, that's what the deal is. So is there a pop star that you sort of looked up to prepare for this?
I kind of thought of Hilary Duff when I was doing this, because she actually started doing Disney at the same time as I did, and then she went off to music. So I kind of watched her concerts and saw some of the footage that she's done and kind of took some of her style and used it towards Hannah.
Billy, I just got about 30 seconds left, but I understand you have some family watching you guys tonight on TV.
We do.
Yeah, I think you got somebody you want to say hi to?
I would like to say hello to my pappy in Kentucky. Hey, pappy!
Everybody's at home enjoying his...
All right, perfect interview. It was a great way for her to really catapult herself into superstardom, and eventually every interview after that got a whole lot better. So just give me a second. I'm going to switch back over to OBS, give you my final thoughts. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate it. That was a great interview. That makes me so appreciative of being a Hannah Montana fan and a Miley Cyrus fan for all these years. And I know I'll probably be a Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus fan for the rest of my life. And I actually found the Hannah Montana movie video game that I knew I had that is extremely rare. Check it out. The Miley Cyrus video game in its entirety, the book and everything with it. I don't even know where I found it. And you're saying to yourself, man, you have everything Disney in your house. Yeah, I do. I literally do. I even have like the old Monopoly games and everything. But this game was so much fun for me playing it. It was a great game. I think there were like 3 Hannah Montana games that were of extreme popularity, and this was one of them. I knew I had it somewhere. I've got so much Hannah Montana stuff in this house, it's crazy. But yeah, I remember my dad saying to me years ago, he kind of reminded me of the character Kratos from God of War, and he'd be like, "Boy, when are you going to give up watching Disney and go out and get a real job?" And I'd say, "Never, Dad." And, I think ultimately Dad was a very supportive person of me being a fan of Disney, because every single time I would send Dad out to look for a Disney movie, he would find the exact Disney movie that I wanted. I remember one time I wanted Finding Nemo, and this is the collector's edition of Finding Nemo, and I sent him out to look for it because I was doing something at the time, couldn't go with him. I think he was working probably an hour away, and then one night he calls me up, he's like, "Boy, I found Nemo," and there it is right there. Me and my dad had a lot of fun memories, whether it be being fans of Billy Ray Cyrus, whether it be being fans of Disney. I can't thank everybody enough who were so supportive of my passion for this kind of thing, and I look forward to sharing my memories as a Disney fan with each and every one of you, just as I did through the production of this video. So if you get a minute, if you haven't already done it, as a family or as a person watching this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I have never had such a tremendous opportunity to reach and come into the homes of so many families through the power of YouTube, and I can't thank you enough. I've had so much fun. So today we celebrate the anniversary of Hannah Montana. I guess the only thing left to do is live the best of both worlds and watch some retro Hannah Montana footage on Disney Plus, which is an amazing service, by the way, because you can go back and watch shows like Wizards Away with the Place, Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which was another one of my favorites. Used to watch that every Saturday morning. Man, what memories. I can only hope that we see reboots of these, because I know these stars will never, ever be forgotten. I know not just by me, but by fans from all walks of life. Guys, thank you so much for your support of this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking my videos. There are more great videos on the way, so please don't forget to show your support. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Bye, YouTube, and we will see you again